Hello everyone, how's it going? My name's Valhalla Pickle, and welcome back to a brand new live stream. First of all, is everything working okay? It has been so long since I've last done a live stream. In fact, I'm pretty sure it has been a month. It's been a month, which is wild. Regardless, I hope that everyone's doing fantastic. We've got quite a fun live stream today, because we've got some rather good updates 1.2 news, official 1.2 news, that I haven't yet talked about, that I do definitely want to try and go over today. We got a brand new 1.2 teaser a few days ago, which is fantastic. And there's a few other Satisfactory life stuff as well that I do want to try and talk about, so hopefully today should be a rather fun live stream. In case you guys are brand new to the channel, I will be making a bunch of Satisfactory videos starting in December, so if you guys want to stick around for that, then make sure to subscribe. And I have got a video coming out later on today, probably sometime this evening. It will be quite a late upload if you guys live out east of the world, but I'm double uploading today, what can I say? Welcome Vinod, first one in. Of course Vinod is the first one in, of course. Hope that you are doing good though. Welcome to the live stream. Are we live on YouTube as well? I think so. Wow. You saw the coffee stain video about the fluid tanks? Yes, we are definitely going to get onto that. We're also going to be talking a little bit about this. We've got a bunch of new patch notes. I say a bunch, there's 2 things I haven't talked about. We've also got them over here on Discord as well. We've got a couple new coffee stain videos too, which should be rather exciting to go over. Thank you, Streamlabs OBS, for giving me a heart attack. And then lastly, we are going to go over all of the confirmed Update 1.2 items coming into the game, as well as some potential things and some unlikely things. We've also got some SimCity 2013 music playing in the background. I will mute it when we go into the videos, but I do probably want to try and start... Actually, you know what? We'll probably start off with a video, go over the patch notes, then watch the second video, because there's a couple things that we do have to try and talk about, which should be very, very exciting. How am I doing? I'm not doing too bad. I've got a video coming out later on today that talks a bit more about what I've been doing. So, yeah. Hopefully more will be explained then. Also, the background for today's stream, this is all being completely changed. As you can see, I've got a brand new PC, so I've had to set everything up. It took about 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours to change everything. Although, to be fair, I think it does look a little bit better now. Hopefully everything here is good as well. There we go, it does look good. So let's start with video number 1. It's called Good News Everyone, and it was released quite a while ago, in all fairness. Let me try and mute... Where is it? Mute that. There we go. And let's give it a quick watch. It's from Coffee Stain Studios, the official makers of Satisfactory. So everything that they are going to say is official, which is quite nice.
Today we have a bunch of good news about a lot of things, including merch, the golden joystick, developments on Satisfactory, and 1.2.
Which is the main thing that we are here for. I don't mind the other stuff, it's fantastic, but update 1.2, that's why we're here.
So let's get right to it. The world is on fire.
Yay.
It's a dour place, and the cost of living is steadily going up. Every industry is feeling the failing global economy. The games industry very much included. And that's why we have come
the game won't crash,
an incredibly tough decision at Coffee Stain to lower the price on most of our merch going forwards.
Oh.
That's right.
Wait, are the sometimes I can't tell with Mikkel if he's like being serious or not. I really cannot tell. But that's pretty cool if they actually are though, especially with Christmas coming up.
Following the success of our Kickstarter last summer, almost every single item on our merch store is taking...
Oh, I haven't actually checked this, to be honest.
...a price cut. And this is not a sale.
The new stream stuff on the side? Yeah,
is going to last
all of it's new.
Permanently. Forever. And if you missed the Kickstarter, you can still pre-order the big box collection.
I made a video talking about this already.
And the factory cart building block set over at lizardago.com. So head over there and check it all out. Let's move on to the Golden Joystick Awards, because both Jason and I will be there.
Has it been 1 year since the other Golden Joystick Awards? Wow. I didn't even realize it's been that long, but that's pretty mad. It can't have been a year, surely, right? Oh well. Did you notice the price of the toilet paper? I didn't. Oh, how much was it? Where is
Every
it?
single item on our merch store is taking a price cut, and this is not a sale.
Was $5, now 10. They've increased. How have they? Wow. So they've doubled it. They've doubled the cost of toilet paper. I've seen this event before. COVID.
This price cut is going to start, and check it all out. Let's move on to the Golden Joystick Awards because
Welcome, Hatman, by the way. I can't speak that language. Hello, though.
both Jason and I will be there in London at the venue this November.
London.
And we'll mainly be there to hand over the PC Game of the Year award to this year's winner of that title. But Satisfactory has also been nominated among other real demonic titles.
Still playing awards, PC and console, Minecraft. I feel like Minecraft has won enough awards at this point. Like, the game isn't terrible, but it's like Minecraft's Minecraft. It's very different from from the Minecraft I grew up playing because I'm ancient. Dead by Daylight never played it. Helldivers never played it. Naraka Blade Points never heard of it. Satisfactory, goated. Warzone, in my opinion, overrated. Marvel Rivals, I've played it like, I think twice. I think I made a stream about it. Did I stream Marvel Rivals, or am I just having some like weird imagination that I did? Could have sworn I did. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But anyway, Fortnite. I don't think I've ever streamed Fortnite. I think I've only ever played Fortnite 6 times in my life, 3 of which I was forced to play it by people I know. So that was fun. Apex. I actually really like Apex, but I cannot play it. Long story short, the very first time I ever played Apex, me and a friend played duos. We won 9 games in a row. The second day that we played it, the very first server that we got into was with like professionals. And every single server I've ever played of Apex Legends after my very first day, I've been playing against like competitive players. Like max rank players when I'm level like 9 and they're rank 500s. So I physically cannot play Apex Legends anymore unless I make a new account because of skill-based matchmaking. Because I won. And bear in mind, this was like 4 years ago, and I still can't play the game to this day unless I make a new account. So, yeah. Never played Rainbow Six Siege. I don't like GTA. Warframe... I don't... What even... Never played it. Okay. No. That's fine. If I had to vote for a game, it would be Satisfactory, but if I wasn't completely biased against a game that I like, if I had to vote for another game, literally none of them. None of them. I know Helldivers 2 is really popular, so but I haven't played it though, I can't really say. I just go Apex, I don't know. You've been taking a big break from Satisfactory recently, mainly because of another game which got a huge update, so you haven't really come back to playing after 1.2 teasers. Yeah, I think I'll come back after 1.2. As of right now, I've got a big project that I'm working on, but because I took such a big break, I'm lacking the motivation to dive back into it, which sucks because I want to get back into it because I've got a lot to do. In fact, I will be streaming it tomorrow, so yeah, I'm playing it tomorrow. I did actually load up the game earlier today on the new PC to see if it was gonna like work nice, and it's crisp.
For the best game that you are still
Sorry,
playing,
that was like a really big little rant right there. Back to the Satisfactory thing.
Award this year. So thank you very much for that nomination. And if you want to throw us a bone and a vote, go do that. But yeah, thank you. But what makes Satisfactory so great to play still? Well, first and foremost,
everything. Like, the game is just good. It's just a good game.
Our wizards are always hard at work to keep on improving and optimizing the game.
Whoa.
Both on a technical...
What the hell is that?
And on a feature level, And today we are going to touch on both, starting with the technical
Streams
level.
are back for now.
We have
yeah.
once more opened up the experimental branch on both iOS and Steam for Satisfactory.
Damn, experimental's back. Have I really been gone that long that experimental is now returning? Also, boink, there we go.
Mainly with the intent of trying out some performance improvements for the game with a refactor of our spline collision method. Now, what's
Are they reworking collisions? What was wrong with it? Well, I'm sure he's going to explain it, but I felt like collisions were kind of fun. The one thing that I didn't like, and I actually mentioned it in an upcoming video, is sometimes you can't place objects on top of each other when you should be able to, and you could have placed them on top of each other before update 1.0. Then they changed it in update 1.0 and it still hasn't been properly fixed, and maybe that's what he's going to talk about?
spline collision allows for in Satisfactory is it is what makes you, the player, collide with certain objects in our game, namely belt, pipes, and hypertubes. Spline collision makes sense for these objects because it allows us on a base level to envelop belts, pipes, and tubes with rectangular hitboxes. But as you, the player, starts bending these things out of shape to fit your paths or your factories, certain points or splines alongside the rectangular hitbox is what allows us, the devs, to stretch and bend the hitbox out of shape right alongside your aesthetical object. Now, you don't need a quintillion hitboxes active.
Experimental's been back for a bit. Oh, nice. I think we'll get onto it a bit. There might be patch notes about it. Maybe.
All over the planet at once. Sure, the meshes of the aesthetics are always nice to have visible for you to look at, but the hitboxes are invisible, and as long as you are not colliding with these objects, they are essentially useless. So what our new tech does is it allows us to disable hitboxes from belts, pipes, and tubes when you are far away from these, and re-enable.
I'm sorry, could we just take a minute to understand this let's game it out style of factory that I'm currently seeing? Current 1.1 stable build.
Hitboxes from belts, pipes, and tubes when you are far away from these, and re-enable them when you are close by, which frees your PC from a ton of
it seems better, yeah.
Needless, constant computations. And that's why we are very happy to say that in some cases we have halved numbers as big as 60 gigabytes of RAM used through this refactor. Why are you using 60 gigabytes of RAM playing Satisfactory?
That seems like a lot.
So if you are someone who struggles with performance in the game,
holy
check
screws.
out the EXP branch and maybe it is going to be a lot better. Any and all feedback is very appreciated. We felt this fix was a good thing to test on EXP before the game hits consoles, because this refactoring could end up in funky situations for multiplayer. And what we mean by that is we want to make sure that if you play multiplayer, both hosts and clients can trigger hitboxes as you move to and away from belts, pipes, and hypertubes.
Yeah, like, I'm not a game dev, I don't understand everything game devy, but at the same time, this does make logical sense, so it's nice. So, I mean, it's a positive change. I'm not going to say no to a positive change, right?
And speaking of consoles, we are rapidly approaching the release date for Satisfactory on the PS5 and Xbox Series S and X on the 4th of November.
Oh damn, it's in 2 days? Wait, what day's the 4th? Monday, Tuesday. I'm actually going to be here for it. I completely forgot it's the 4th of November. I was going to say, have they given a release date yet? But it's the 4th of November. It's in 2 days' time. Okay. I genuinely completely forgot. I haven't got the game on console, though. Am I going to buy it on console? I mean, I can. Because the thing is, I leave Wednesday. Like, Wednesday morning, so Tuesday's my last day. I suppose I can buy it on console. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Let's get ready to...
I haven't got my console with me. My PlayStation isn't home. So I can get it on console, but I...
get real cozy on the couch.
Typical.
We did release a Q&A video about consoles not too long ago, So if you have pressing questions or concerns about the game on consoles, do check that out and you might
We're
find
watching
some
that in a
answers.
bit.
What we do want to say in this video that has not been clearly stated by us until now is that the game will not be available for pre-purchase or pre-download until the 4th of November.
Okay, so that's quite important for, I suppose, anyone watching who is trying to find the game. It sounds like you can't actually find it just yet until the 4th, which is a bit... Does he explain why?
So you cannot pre-install or buy the game until the release day. Now you know.
No, I don't know why. It would make sense if you could, but I'm sure there's a reason as to why you cannot. I just don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Couldn't you just set up the same effect by hooking up a controller to your computer? I probably will do that. No, I can't. I haven't got a controller. Yeah, my controller's also not here either. Unless I can hook up like a PlayStation 4 controller. I've got a PlayStation 2 controller, but I'm not even going to attempt that. So I could try that. We'll see. I mean, either way, I'm going to stream that day as well. So we'll try and make something work.
And pioneers, it's time. We have a drop for you about 1.2
Yay.
regarding pipes.
Oh
Because
yeah, they fixed the pipes, of course.
we have heard your feedback loud and clear. We have heard about your struggles and your issues with fluid transportation, and we are happy to say that 1.2 will provide the perfect solution.
So this is the teaser that I have seen. In case you guys haven't seen it, we're going to let it play. I won't pause it now, but I'll let it play first and we'll come back to it in just a moment's time. I don't think that's changed. Although it looks like it has. I don't know. We've got a package fuel there going into that. Into the truck station. And then, ta-da, you can't see it because my webcam's in the way, but essentially it's a truck that now has a fluid container on it. So the very first thing that I actually want to try and double check here is this. If I just search Satisfactory oil extractor, because to me, that does look like an oil extractor. I think it is. What video even is it? This one? Yeah, so that is just an oil extractor. Because this is an oil node. I'm pretty sure I know exactly where this node is. Because I'm pretty sure I've been here recently. Now, regarding this, I know for a fact some people are going to say, this is a Mark II water extractor. However, I'm going to say no, because I don't... Wait, is there more talking after this, just before I yap? No, there isn't. I don't think this is the Mark II, because I'm pretty sure they've said that they can't do it. In fact, that's actually going to be a point that I was thinking about mentioning in an upcoming video, where I do want to talk a bit more about fluids now that we've got this confirmed change. But essentially, I don't think they're ever going to have Mark II extractors, because I don't think they said that they are going to do it. And I don't think we're going to get Mark III pipes. If I'm wrong, I'll be happily wrong. I would love to see Mark II extractors and Mark III pipes. I'd love to. But I can't imagine it happening. Oh well. I made a video analysing the trailer. Oh, that's good then. So he's probably going to say everything that I'm going to say. With the pipes though, again, to me, they just look like Mark I clear pipes. So I don't think there's anything too new there either. Is there anything that I've missed with this shot? I don't think so. I think we've captured everything here. This is a Mark II. And it's not a clear pipe because we can clearly see the oil there. This is rather interesting. It's a fluid truck station. It makes sense. Am I ever actually going to use this? In fact, here's a question for the chat as well, as we get some music in the background. Let's get that SimCity up again. Are you guys actually going to use this? like a truck fluid exporter? For me, I think it depends on how much fluid you can actually fit into the truck. Because when it comes to the trains, I almost never, ever, ever, ever transport liquids via a train. Unless I'm turning it into a solid first. Like, it'll go crude oil into packaged crude oil into a train, then unpackage the crude oil to then go into whatever I need it to go into. So I can't imagine me actually using this. However, it's still nice to have because some people are going to use it, so that's pretty good. Welcome all Shining Fish, hope that you're doing good. Depends on how much liquid, yeah. Yep, if it's one of those like train situations where you get so much more into a solid than a liquid, it makes sense just to transport it as a solid. But again, this is still a pretty cool feature though. And it looks like we can get, is that 2 liquids in, 2 liquids out? Also, I pointed my finger there even though you could even see it. Also, it appears that you can get 2 different kinds of liquids potentially into here. I don't know if this is crude oil. Well, no, we know this is crude oil. And this is water, isn't it? We saw that from earlier, didn't we? Possibly each station has 2 in and out ports, and over long distances setting up truck routes is easier than... Yeah, it could be. Definitely. Especially since, again, this appears to be carrying water, and this appears to be carrying crude oil. If there's somehow a way that you can fill up 2 separate tanks worth of liquids, that could be rather interesting. Because again, look at this purple pipe here. Purple pipe, crude oil. Orange pipe, water. So if they've stuck with the same color scheme here for the actual truck fluid station, then that's really interesting. That's really interesting. Let the video play for a little bit longer. The actual design of it looks really cool as well. I mean, I know it's just a truck station, but I still think it looks pretty cool. And the actual truck itself remains the same. Except with the massive fluid tank in it. I don't think the tractor is going to get a fluid variant. And if it does, I can't imagine it being very useful. But also bear in mind, I'm pretty sure the truck has, what is it, 48 inventory slots? I have to double check this. It's not too bad. I think it's actually like, oh, that's the fandom one. Wrong one. There we go. I think it's actually pretty decent. Yeah, how did I know that? I'm such a nerd. 48 inventory slots compared to the train, which is freight cars, sorry, which is 32 slots. So in theory, the truck has got more slots than the train, than a freight car. Which means that in theory, surely, you should be able to fit more liquids in a truck than one freight car. Which could be interesting. I'm just thinking, if you were to like build a road from point A to point B, let's just say it's a straight line, and it's quite a far line, it's a far distance, this could be a relatively good idea. Because as, was it Vinod that was saying it earlier? No, I Am Hitman, I think. If it's a long distance, that's a lot of resources that you're going to try and spend on pipes. Whereas a truck just goes. The only concern that I might have, well, one of the concerns I have with this is the fuel that it requires. Because do I really want to be spending fuel on a truck when I could just be using pipes? And the thing is as well, trucks aren't necessarily, in my opinion, completely reliable. And I don't find fluids reliable anyway. So I'm combining 2 things that I don't find reliable. Then I'm having to consume a fuel to use it. Whereas if it was just pipes, granted again, liquids I still don't think are reliable, but it removes the fuel element, and it also removes the actual truck elements from it as well. I probably will use this to test it out. I will, no, cancel that. I will be using this in my current playthrough to test it out. Not maybe, I will be using it. Also, it adds a bit of life to the factory as well. I think that could be pretty cool. And if it does contain a lot of fuel, then it's probably a good idea. But it all comes down to, in my opinion, it all comes down to how much liquid this thing can actually hold, and also how much fuel it burns as well. I imagine it burns the exact same as the regular truck, but we have to wait and see for that. Is there anything else I've missed here? I don't think so. Judging by the loading time here, I assume it's going to be a very similar loading time to the regular truck station. But yeah, I love the design of it. It looks very nice. It does. There we go. So I think that is video 1 pretty much fully analysed. We have got a couple new things to add to here. So obviously console is confirmed. We've known that for a while now. We've also got... Wait, firstly. And this music's getting very intense. I don't know if you guys can even hear it. Very intense music. There we go. So console. Fluids. Trucks. Fluids. Truck. Stations. With multiple... Nice. Multiple fluids inputs. Plus outputs. Which is great. Also, this is way too big. That's better. I'm not gonna lie, listening to the SimCity music makes me want to play SimCity again. I had the game, but I've lost the code for it, which is really frustrating. Which is why I like physical copies of games. I might be unk status, as the kids say nowadays, but I much prefer having a physical copy of a game, like going to like the video game store and then buying a video game. It feels more genuine, more real, like I've got an actual connection to that game. Like when I bought SimCity, I felt like I was actually buying that game, like I earned it. Whereas now you just go into Steam, click a game that you like and just buy it. Or save up for it. It doesn't feel as rewarding, in my opinion. Very off topic, but just, you know. So that's also new. Anything else that was new there? The player collisions. There we go. I don't know why I've capitalized collisions. Is collisions double L? Yes, it is. Anything else that we saw that was new? So there was the Game Awards thing. Oh yeah, this. Was it freeing up RAM? Or GPU? One of them.
Are very happy to say that in some cases we have halved numbers as big as 60 gigabytes of RAM used.
So, RAM... RAM what? RAM... Helper? Saver? There we go. Brilliant. That's the collision stuff, or is it to do with the collision stuff? Yeah. So like both of these I suppose go hand in hand, but it's still quite nice though that we've got a couple new things there. The second video that I actually, before I get onto that, patch notes. We've got a bunch of patch notes. I do want to just like zoom straight through this because a couple of these have been out now for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think some of them 4 weeks. Yeah. So I am very quickly just going to zoom through this. But essentially, yep, that's fine, that's fine. 1.1.6, let's start with this. Isn't there 1.1.5? Oh, there it is, okay, yeah. So, optimization, they've refactored spline collisions. They fixed the let's see what's out there achievement, since it did not work when playing in languages other than English. They've also got a fix for a specific crash when loading saves that contain conveyor belts built by Blueprint Auto Connects during 1.1 experimental. There you go. So in case you guys were having that problem, that's been fixed now for like a month, probably. I wouldn't be too surprised. When it was not working correctly and I've been resaved since, You've also got to fix null pointer crash when logging discrepancy between picked up items on client servers. Okay. And then a few things down here for the Steam Deck. I don't use Steam Deck, but if you guys do, then there you go. Fantastic. Then anything else up here? Oh, there we go. Okay, a very small update here. Bug fixes, fix performance issues when opening the UI while I was playing from Epic Games Launcher. That's actually quite a big fix there. That's pretty good, because I play on Epic Games, so that's nice. They've also fixed visual flickering around the northern forest during nighttime. Great. And this can be quite important. I don't know how bad the flickering was, but when it involves lights and constant flickering, depending on how bad it is, that could trigger epilepsy. Again, I don't know how bad it was, so that's always nice to have that fixed. And I literally think that is it. I have got it open over here as well, so that's that one. Any questions? Flicking? Yeah. That's basically it. Okay, grand. So we've done that. Now we have got this video here about console. I am aware this video has been out for a while, but I do still want to try and cover it, because there are some new updates 1.2 things in here that I want to try and talk about a little bit. See what else is confirmed, what else isn't confirmed. I'm pretty sure I've actually left a comment on this video. Yes, I did leave a comment on this video. That's how long it's been out for. Oh well. They reduce the range from the player where collisions are calculated, which saves on... Oh, okay, so... Makes sense. That's still pretty cool, though. I like that.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
First up, how the hell is Satisfactory going to run on my console? Now, I'm quite familiar with how some of you build. I'm looking at you, Andrew. We've known from the beginning that Satisfactory can really push hardware to its limits. With that in mind,
Yep.
us and Fish Labs have spent an extensive amount of time testing different saves at different stages of the game. And with some careful optimization, we've got the game running smoothly on the PS5 and PS5 Pro and the Xbox Series X and S.
Good. I'm going to sound really mean, and I don't care. Video game companies need to stop making games for old-gen consoles. PlayStation 4 and whatever the old Xboxes are. I don't know the name, sorry. The reason I say this, even though it might sound a bit mean, is because what you'll often find is that when they try and optimize... Oh, so this is a very bad screenshot. There we go. When they try and optimize these games for old-gen consoles, they often have to not make things to the highest standard that they could have done if they just stuck with PlayStation 5. For example, Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 2042 should never have come out on old-gen consoles. It did, and it looked crap. Let's have a very quick example. The very first thing that comes up is crashing. Okay, that's kind of answered my point already. Memes. This is like, is it a Halloween update? Like, the video games that are coming out nowadays, unfortunately, aren't made for the PlayStation 4 software. So, whenever companies say things like, oh, we're making our game for PlayStation 5, and then they don't mention PlayStation 4, a lot of people get upset, and I can understand it, because not everyone has the money to buy a new PlayStation 5, and some places are still struggling to get PS5s in stock. I wouldn't be surprised in PS5 Pros. But if you're making your game worse, it's not a good idea. So I'm completely fine with them not constantly making like PlayStation 4 variants or the old gen variants. That's my opinion on the matter, though. It all depends on what console you've got. Of course, PC players don't care. Actually, no, I suppose PC players will care, because they might also feel the effects of some games releasing on old gen. So, in my opinion, I think they should stop releasing games on old gen.
Includes a few different presets, like quality.
Always about the potential that, yeah, exactly. I think they should just don't bother doing it. Oh, we actually got console gameplay? Damn, okay, this looks...
Performance and balanced. Quality will increase the visual fidelity of your factory experience, but it's going
Look how smooth that is. Look at the size of this factory and how smooth it is.
to lock the game at 30 FPS. With the performance preset, some of those visual sliders are going to be turned down, but you will be getting a consistent 60 FPS and only dipping really when there's some truly crazy factory builds. Finally,
That looks really good. I'm actually going to watch that again. So 30 FPS with quality, 60 FPS with performance. Whenever I play any video game that requires either quality or performance, I choose performance every day of the week. Because I'd much rather have 60 or 120 FPS if I'm on if I'm on computers, PC. But yeah, I'd much rather choose performance. But even quality looks decent here for the size of the factory. This is Big Booty Tom's World. Kibitz made a showcase of it. Oh, right. Yeah, no, it looks smooth. I mean, the world looks nice, of course, but I'm mostly focused about the performance. But no, it looks great.
Quality will increase the visual fidelity of your factory experience, but it's going to lock the game at 30 FPS. With the performance preset, some of those visual sliders are going to be turned down, but you will be getting a consistent 60 FPS and only dipping really when there's some truly crazy factory build.
Yeah, sounds good in my opinion. Going back to what I was saying a bit earlier on as well, if this was made for PlayStation 4, this would be 10 frames per second and the quality would be absolutely rubbish. So I'm pretty happy that they've, again, just chinned it off, essentially. Of how good gaming consoles can be, you can't really get any better than the PS5, whatever the current Xbox is. Yeah, they're both really, really good consoles. I think the PS5 Pro came out a while ago. I've got no idea how much better it is than the PS5. It is something I can look into. I'm not going to buy a PS5 Pro because I don't need one, unless my PS5 breaks, and that's a whole different thing. But as of right now, I'm really happy with where console gaming is. And I've been a console gamer since I could first hold a controller. I love console gaming. So seeing things like this makes me really excited.
Finally, there's the balance preset, which fits nice and snug between quality and performance, which lessens the visual quality a little bit, but lets you get up to 40 FPS. Obviously, you all push the limits of the game every single day, so when November 4th rolls around, we're just going to have to keep an eye on what you're getting up to and optimize accordingly. Next question. Will Satisfactory have an enhanced tag on the PS5 Pro? Yes, it will. For those of you who don't know what that means, basically, you're going to get some additional visual enhancements, like an increased draw distance.
Very off topic, but
know what that means. Basically, you're going to get some additional...
The way that these two train tracks merge into each other looks beautiful. Just thought I'll very quickly point that out. But yeah, PS5 Pro enhancement, fantastic. Again, I haven't got the PS5 Pro, but you guys might. So that is good news for PS5 Pro players. I don't know if there's an Xbox equivalent of the PS5 Pro. I don't know. I'm also trying to look around to try and spot any new machines. I very much doubt there will be anything new like that. What is that in the background there? Little like circle things. I don't think that's new. I don't think there was anything new. That's completely fine though.
Visual enhancements like an increased draw distance, enhanced volumetrics, improved ambient occlusion quality, and more. Next question.
Looks great.
Arguably the most frequent question we've received. Will there be crossplay between console?
I haven't seen this video yet. I know I left the comments, but I only watched like the first couple minutes. Is there going to be crossplay? If I was to guess, I would say... Well, I would say yes. It's Epic Games, right? I swear Epic Games already has crossplay between PC and consoles. I'm unsure about the Nintendo Switch. I don't think the game's coming out to Nintendo Switch, but I don't know if the crossplay works with that. At least I would hope there's crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation. But preferably between PC and console would be fantastic as well. Is that the converter? I think it will be the converter. That's what the circular building looked like, at least.
And PC. In short, no.
Oh. Well, there actually isn't crossplay?
No, I know. While you will be able to crossplay between PlayStation and Xbox, we have a good reason why it won't be possible with PC. This is basically our thinking. Our PC players have a lot of freedom to modify their game. They can raise limits, use save editors, and even use mods to push the game past its intended scale. We've all seen Let's Game It Out.
Hey, can you imagine the game running worse than it did before? Because guess what? It does. Like, a lot worse.
This freedom is a part of the PC experience, and it's something we've embraced over the years. If players can make it work, they're free to experiment. On console, the situation's different. Console makers expect the games on their platforms to run reliably most of the time.
Yes.
And console gamers typically don't have the same tools that PC players do to troubleshoot their crashes or their corrupted saves.
That's why I thought they were going to add a Satisfactory workshop. Some sort of in-game tab where you can access mods. But I guess not. Well, that's fine. I mean, I'm not a coder. I'm not a game dev. I don't know how difficult that would be to actually code, but it is what it is. At least you can crossplay with Xbox and PlayStation, so that's not too bad. I suppose if you want to mod your game, you're gonna want to have this game on PC. If you don't care much about modding, then you're probably fine on console or PC.
So let's say a PC player modifies their game. For example, raising object limits to build a massive factory. Then they decide to invite their console friends into their session, where their clients are almost assuredly going to crash. Because of this mismatch, combining the two platforms into one crossplay environment will put console players at risk of instability caused by the freedoms that we allow PC players. So that's the main reason we decided to keep the ecosystem separate. So PC players can continue enjoying that freedom, and console players can rely on a stable, consistent factory experience. There are some smaller, less philosophical reasons as well. It would be quite a large undertaking to set up the basic infrastructure for these two platforms to play together, including optimizations of existing optimizations and potential reworks of entire features.
Yeah, again, I'm not a game dev, so I can imagine it's probably not a very easy thing to do, otherwise every game in existence would probably have crossplay enabled. But it is what it is.
The list goes on. We're not closing the door on it forever, but with our current desires to keep making new features for Satisfactory, getting this to work would take all hands on deck for a really long time.
So let's just write down everything that we've now been told. So, crossplay, nice. Between... Wait, I spelled crossplay correctly. What? As if that's not a word. It now is. I didn't spell that correctly though, bloody hell. Between Xbox and PlayStation. There we go. And also we have the PS Pro enhancements, which is pretty cool. I'll take that.
Whew, that was a lot. Next question. Will Satisfactory be verified on Steam Deck? Ooh, an honorary console mention. If you look at the Steam Deck page for Satisfactory, we currently have 3 out of 5 checks for full compatibility. And soon, drumroll please, it's going to be 4. Internally, we have a launcher and setup working, and we just
never
need
use a
Valve
Steam
to approve
Deck.
it. In-game text, however, is not as straightforward as it might seem. In some parts of the inventory, UI can be pretty small. The biggest offender is probably the patch notes section in the main menu. We're exploring some solutions right now, but we're not sure if it's going to get approved by Valve. We are very hopeful though that we can get all 5 check marks soon. Most importantly though, even without those 5 check marks, we do have core functionality for Satisfactory on Steam Deck.
It looks so weird seeing it on Steam Deck, because in my mind, like, Steam Deck is just a Nintendo Switch, just with different features. So just seeing it on that console looks really weird. I mean, if it works, right? But it just, I don't know why, it just looks really weird seeing it on such a small screen.
If you've never played Satisfactory on Steam Deck before, it should just work right out of the box and load up the default controls. However, if you've played Satisfactory on Steam Deck before and have a custom controller config, it might not work as intended. So we recommend resetting the default if you're running into issues. Next question, can we do couch co-op on console?
Does that mean split screen? I'm guessing that's what couch co-op is.
Now, this is a fun idea for both console and PC, but for now, the answer is no. That's a lot of no's for one video. Let me explain. The reason behind that decision is due to how many core systems are designed in Satisfactory for a single view experience. Keep in mind, these systems have been heavily optimized to keep your game running smoothly as you build more and more complex factories.
I think if I believe couch co-op is just split screen, it would seem great, but at the same time though, I can't imagine playing Satisfactory with only half your screen just squished down. So I think this makes sense. I think it does.
Think about the sheer...
We can probably skip over this question because I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Question. Will my save file transfer from PC to console? In short,
yes.
No. Console...
It is a lot of no's. Damn. Okay.
Consoles have a max... is the most well...
What do you think is the most well-rounded character?
Well-rounded character in Melee. That's a great question.
I thought that was like a misworded question, like what's the best melee weapon? But no, it's yeah, fair enough. How much will the game cost?
First, you have to ask yourself, am I talking about in the...
I'm pretty sure it was the exact same amount as what it costs on Epic and Steam.
Context of viable competitive characters, or psych bitch, how much will the game cost on console? Yeah, it'll be consistent with the pricing on PC. So $40 USD or whatever's equivalent in your region.
Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. I think that occasionally Epic Games or Steam or PlayStation or Xbox might have like their own small sale. So maybe once every blue moon, Satisfactory might be slightly cheaper on one device than another. That's just my guess, because I'm pretty sure with some games, I think it happened to, it was a Subnautica that I saw recently was a bit cheaper on console than it was on PC because of some sort of deal. But things like that will happen. It happens quite a lot with the Assassin's Creed franchise as well. So do keep an eye out. If you, let's say, for example, you play on Steam or you want to play on Steam, do double check Epic Games because it might be 20% off there or it might be a bit cheaper on console. I think. Don't take my word for it, but it's like that with a lot of other games, so I assume it's going to be very similar with this as well.
The next question. Can I use mouse and keyboard on console? At launch, no. We are, however, working on it for the future.
It's a lot of no's. There is a lot of no's in this video.
The thing is, it's not up to us entirely. This has to be
sense.
approved by Microsoft and Sony, and they have their own sets of rules and regulations surrounding this. We would love to have this as an option for y'all though, so fingers crossed. Next, will updates come out simultaneously?
Surely this has to be a yes. I can't imagine an update for, let's say, PlayStation 5 comes out a day before Nintendo. Not Nintendo, Epic Games.
On console and PC? Yes, that is the plan. We are still figuring out how updating on console works in general, so there might be some hiccups along the way, but yes, the plan is to release game updates simultaneously across PC and console. Next question. Nice. Will console limitations constrain update sizes in the future? In terms of scale, we don't anticipate this at all. We'll keep developing as we always have, it's just also going to come out on console now. Not that we won't run into any issues, but we're not going to let the hardware dictate what kind of updates are coming out to Satisfactory. Ooh, last question. Is developing on console meaning we're going to get less updates? In short, no. Our intention is to bring everything that comes
I mean, that's another no, but that's a good no.
out on PC to console as well. And updating across PC and console isn't going to affect the release cadence of our updates. The only somewhat relevant thing is that we may open up the experimental branch again in the future, and that would be only available for PC players. For anyone new, the experimental branch...
Yeah, that makes sense. I think, would it cause any problems for console though? If you've only got the experimental branch on PC, and let's say, for example, they find 50 bugs, which I don't even think 50 bugs is even that many. Most of them will be very minor bugs, granted, but let's say there's 50 bugs, then you launch the game on console, but then there's console-specific bugs that the PC players might not have realized. Unless, of course, they just do a bunch of behind-the-scenes testing for console, which I'm sure they will do. So maybe they're going to try and find a way to solve that problem. But at least regarding experimental on PC, it should remain the exact same. And in my opinion, I still think it's a fantastic idea to have experimental, and more games should do it. Absolutely more games should do it. Because essentially, if you don't know what experimental is, I think he's about to explain it, but before the release, let's say update 1.2, they'll release update 1.2 on experimental. Then, oh no, there's 100 new very minor bugs and a couple of somewhat major bugs. That's fine. It's completely patched or mostly patched before it actually releases into the main game. This way, the game actually launches relatively smooth with all the new updates. Unlike a couple other games I've played in the past where they don't have this experimental feature, a new update comes out and let's say a weapon in a first-person shooter game is extremely overpowered. They would have noticed this if they had an experimental feature. Or let's say they've released an update for, random example, City Skylines 2, and oh no, this completely breaks this part of the city, or it completely breaks this mechanic. They would have noticed that if they had an experimental branch. So I think experimental is a fantastic idea. I'm not a game designer. I don't know what it's like to code it into the game, but more games should be able to do it. Welcome, my mum bakes cakes. Hope that you're doing good. You want Core Power animations to work? These should work, unless you mean the Core Power generators, like to have more animations. If that's what you mean. I mean, there's smoke. There's smoke coming out of the chimney thing. But yeah, a couple more animations as well. Could be quite nice.
branch is basically a build of the game where we test things out and you can as well. More often than not, this branch evolves into the next update of the game where all platforms will be able to enjoy. Okay, I think that's all I got for you. But if you have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Me and Mikhail are also always hanging around our Discord and the subreddit.
Nice. That was actually quite an important video there. So we have got a few things that are now confirmed to be coming into the game. SimCity music, where are you? There we go. So, console, of course, is confirmed. Fluid truck stations with multiple fluid inputs and outputs. Inputs and outputs. Player collisions with RAM improvements. Crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation, as well as a PlayStation Pro enhancement. These are all really, really good changes that I am relatively excited about. I don't know if there's any major changes in Update 1.2 that's going to surprise me. I think Update 1.1 did have a few things that did generally surprise me. Elevators being a big one, or lifts. That was a huge one for me personally. Regarding the potential and unlikely list, I might do this another day, but this is the most important thing. I will have a video coming out where I just talk a bit more about this, give my thoughts and opinions, as well as a couple more things that might get confirmed over the course of the next week or two, potentially. But we just have to see how things are going to end up going. But this is very exciting stuff. Now, one thing I do actually want to try and do is actually boot up Satisfactory. Why is the soundtrack so depressing? There we go. The generator for the nuclear rotates. Oh, right. So maybe they'll do that. You never know. Let me try and get onto this screen for just a sec as I open up Epic Games. Don't worry, the stream's not ending or anything. I want to try and get Satisfactory open to try and see how it's going to run. There we go. Lovely. But yeah, thank you very much again to everyone who's currently tuning into the stream. I hope that everyone's doing good. We are back for... Mutes. There we go. We are back for a few days. I'm very excited about. Lots of Satisfactory content. Hopefully. What is that? AMD software... Oh, it's gone. Sure. I don't even know what that even was. Let's just dive straight into it. Yeah, I am rather excited about it. Do let me know, by the way, if my microphone's too loud or if the game is too quiet or... Well, the game right now is muted, so the game will be a bit quiet. But yeah, do let me know. Oh. Look how quickly I loaded into the game. That's mad. Look how smooth it is as well. I don't know how smooth it is for you guys, but it feels good. It does feel good. I'm not playing on my usual monitor. I think it's going to look a lot better on my main monitor itself. But in case you guys have missed the last few live streams like a month and a half ago, basically what I'm trying to do here is a rocket fuel factory. These are all my little blueprints I'm designing. And this is the actual outside of it. This blueprint I still don't massively love. But it took me so long to make, I'm just going to leave it the way it is and I'm not changing it anymore. So you lot come up through there. And this is where our main floor is actually going to be. Are you a blueprint? Wait, orange? Why are you orange? My dismantle hasn't been orange for like 2 years. What is this? Nah, stop. Also, I have got global illuminations turned on, but I'm not inside the building, so you can't actually see it. Kind of pointless, but maybe we'll show it a bit later on. Why are you orange? Give me the purple. Give me the purple. Thank you. Oh, even this has changed. What even was it before? Did we go white? Okay, if I actually, like, confirmed that. Sure. Oh, that's better. Although having it orange just looks really weird there for a sec. That's fine though. Right, I have got a few changes to make here. It feels so weird playing the game again, by the way. Like, it feels so weird playing this game. I love it, man. I love it. I will need to change a few things here. What's wrong with R? Oh, even this has changed again. That's fine. So this should be fine. What even is underneath her? Okay, it is actually quite dark down here. Good. Very good. I wish there was like an FPS counter. I don't know what it is, but this is feeling nice and smooth. Oh, this looks nice. This isn't even supposed to look nice. Oh, especially this part. This part's supposed to be hidden. So let's let's cover up our crimes. Wait, that's the wrong one. I think there is a way that I can make this look quite nice though if I try and select, is it you? How does that look? Good? Bad? Looks fine from there, although I don't love that, so I think what I'm going to end up doing is actually getting rid of this, and then chucking you down here. Yeah, that's a bit better. Just hides the mess behind there. Same with you lot as well. You are going to dead snap a little bit, although I couldn't really find a damn to give about it, because it's fine. How do I select my torch? B. I'm a noob again. I'm a noob again. It feels fantastic. Okay, we can leave that there for now. I suppose you don't actually need to be there. Brilliant. You're completely fine. Although, how are you getting power across? Wait. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. I've lost all my blueprints. Okay. Well, I mean, I've got these, which luckily I managed to do this because that saved me a lot of time. Oh man, how am I going to solve this problem then? If I was to remake all these blueprints, it would take me like 20 hours. I haven't got that time. So what are you saved as? Blueprint saved. Right, okay, that could potentially be a problem for us. I still hate this blueprint, by the way. Although I don't know what to do about it. Have I got it saved somewhere over here? No, it's the one blueprint I haven't got saved over here. Damn. Okay. I think it was saved there, then I got rid of it to build that blueprint instead. I think what I want to try and do is just lower this down so that it's placed directly on top of here. Is there any way that I can somehow move this? Damn. Why is my inventory filled with rubbish? Well, I say rubbish, it's some of the most important things I can have in the game. I don't mind the way this looks though. There's a lot of lights. The thing is, right, whenever I come back to Satisfactory, there's always a lot of things that I like. For example, this, I still think this building looks pretty cool. I've just started using a new technique as well where I half nudge walls. For example, I do things like this. Then I add another layer there. Then another layer here, then here, then here, then here, then here. It adds a lot more detail and depth. That's how I've been able to come up with this sort of design where, as you can see, I've clearly got 3 layers. 1, 2, 3. Plus that wall there as well, plus the lights. And then you end up with something like this. So I think it's quite nice. Especially this sort of pattern up here as well. That's something that I do want to try and continue. But the problem is, now looking at this, there's just too many lights. But I don't want to have to redo everything though. Is there a way, and the chat might have to help me out with this question, is there a way that I can somehow upload my blueprints to a website then download it, so I can never lose it. So if I build something, let's say in creative mode, can I then upload that blueprint from creative mode to a website, then download it back onto Satisfactory? Because I think I might have to do that. And I might want to experiment a bit more with this idea. Because I like this. This has potential. This also has potential. Again, I've somewhat done the same thing here. But I feel like there's just too many lights going on. I suppose that's a good thing about taking a relatively long break from this game. Now that I've come back to it, I can see that looks nice, that looks nice, that looks dreadful. That looks dreadful, for example. This has potential, but I feel like it's doing too much. For example, this pattern right here, I actually quite like. But what I want to try and do is increase the actual pattern here along here. So rather than it starting there than ending there, I don't want it to do that. I want it to actually expand a lot further along across the wall. Small things like that will make a very big difference. And also the dark colours mixed with the light colours can make it look rather nice as well. Although, very quickly, I do want to try... Oh, it's reset all my colours as well. No, it hasn't. I was going to say, damn. No. It hasn't actually reset everything. What I want to try and do is... Is that a new sound? I don't think so. Just out of curiosity. The reason why I've done that is because it makes this particular wall here, or ramp, look a bit more shaded. Because it's built a bit further in, so I feel like it makes a bit more sense for it to look like that. But the problem is, I don't want to change everything here. That does look a little bit better. I think that's the design that I will go for. So the very back wall is going to be this light. The wall that's half a nudge in front of it will then be a slightly darker colour. And the wall in front of that will then be a slightly lighter colour, giving it a shaded effect. I think would look quite decent. You can find the blueprint file to find the build and copy it. I'll have to try that. All your blueprints are saved in-app data local factory. Oh. Okay. So, I have to get the old computer up again and then somehow transfer it across. Would it work via a USB? So if I uploaded all of that data onto a USB, plugged it into the new computer, then just moved that file across to this file on this computer, would that work? Again, in my pea-sized head, that would make sense, but I don't know. I want to try and make something regarding this idea. I feel like it could work. I've only just started experimenting with this way of building recently, so I'm still very, very new to it. Let's try and do it up here. But I feel like this idea could, if I do it right, be really good. Wait, why are you sometimes yellow then sometimes... Oh, you're yellow because you're interacting with the wall. Okay. Great. Can I select this? No, I somehow managed to select the power line. That's impressive. Missing material. Missing materials. In fact, this actually gives us a really good opportunity to dump all of our stuff here, then go back to our starter factory, just to try and see how the progress there is going. I probably need this. Have we got a jetpack? Yep. I'll definitely need that there as well. I wonder how long this is going to take, because normally when I respawn, it takes about 30 seconds for me to actually load back in. Now let's see what it's going to be like on the new PC. 1, 2, few seconds. I'm sorry, like, my last PC was about 10 generations behind this one. I'm still getting used to things. It's running smoothly. Everything here looks fine. Even here it's running relatively smoothly. Wait, where's my... okay. So all of my settings have been changed. Is that a death box? It is. Okay, so I have a setting enabled normally where if I die, I keep the things on me. But clearly that has now been changed. Obviously, I should have known. Where even is that? Manage session? No. Keybinds? No. Gameplay. Keep equipment. Keep everything. That's annoying. I think after today's stream, I'm just going to make sure that all of my settings are fine again. Let's go back. Let's try and get my stuff, then I'll come back here again. Yeah, everything's running smoothly. I mean, I've got zero complaints as of right now. Welcome, Thomas. Hope that you're doing good. You can do that. Nice. Google Drive, that could be a good idea there as well. Thank you. See, you guys are far better at this tech stuff than I am. I'm just a console pleb that enjoys one PC game. Even this is smooth. Oh my goodness. Normally I'll be getting around like 3 frames per second. We've got the damn wall over there as well. Damn. Literally, damn. Oh, speaking about the dam area, that's where I want to try and build my Christmas factory. Although I'm not even... Why have I got called there? Although I'm not even thinking about that just yet because it's so far in the future. Okay, now I can equip this and hopefully now... It should be fine. Look how quick that is. Yeah, okay, I've got my inventory on me. Fantastic. So how is everything running here? I've kind of forgotten what I've actually built. But the reason why I want to come back here though is to mostly check on my adaptive control units. 0? Okay, 2000. Take that out for now. And where's our computers? You're not our computers, but ooh, I need to actually check all this stuff. Damn. Damn. Bloody hell. I really should have checked this before I left. We've got a lot of things to sync. Why are you yellow? Why are you yellow? Okay, that's fine. That's... wow. The last thing I want to see is a yellow light and then not know where it's come from. Oh, it's awful. Are you running Satisfactory through Steam as Steam has an FPS counter? No, through Epic Games. Oh, why are you yellow? Okay. You're also yellow, but I'm guessing it's for the very similar sort of reason. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't mind having too many items inside of the machine, but it's when there's not enough items, which is when I start to get concerned. But no, luckily we're all good there. Yep. You're fine. You're fine now. Come back to that. Just dump all of this stuff inside of our awesome sink. Get a bunch of coupons. Although I don't necessarily know how many coupons we currently have. Okay. Okay. Well, that's not bad going. Again, I will most likely end up doing most of this off camera, but you guys get the gist. I get items from here, upload it to the awesome sink. I could just link it into my awesome sink, but that would require more than 2 minutes of manual labor. Which I'm not doing today. In fact, I'm doing like half an hour of manual labor now instead. Oh well. By manual labor, I mean I'm flicking a button on the mouse, so it's not really that difficult. Damn. So let's head over now to our hypertube cannon. I've gotten to remember all the Satisfactory terminology. I know it's only been a month since I last played this game, but it feels like it's been a year. Like, I'm looking in the top right and seeing things like nuclear pasta and... ugh. Ugh. The day will come where I'll be making that stuff. Ooh, slug. Another slug. Oh, damn, tons of slugs. Sam, oh, this one. Okay. I should now be able to afford this. You can copy it and freely move it around anywhere, just like other files. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably try that then. One. Thank you. So the idea is, I want to try and take inspiration from this wall right here. How many layers do I have to try and necessarily build? If I try and build something that has like 5 layers, that would be a pretty fun challenge. Not just a challenge, but something that I also want to actually use in the future, preferably. As that would be more helpful than just building, like, rubbish. 3, 4... There we go. So it's a 5 by 5. Well, in theory, it's a 840 by 20, but oh well. I don't think it matters what color I paint this, because this is only going to be used to place our lights down. So what pattern do I want to try and go for? Let's try and do a door sort of style. So the door's going to be here. This will be our entrance. Let's then go with a small concrete pillar, as that will be completely fine for now. Something like that. Okay. The next thing that I then probably want to try and end up doing is somehow placing you across there. All my keybinds have changed now as well. Oh my goodness gracious. What is vertical nudge now? Because I used to always have it as, I think, I and K. Nudge. Where is nudge? Forward, back, left, right, up, down. No. I. K. That's better. Except I actually want to try and nudge you a little bit into this thing here as no. A little bit into this thing here as well. So something like that. So this is what the door will end up looking like. Brilliant. So regarding what we were talking about a little bit earlier on today with update 1.2, I think the update is looking really promising. There's nothing that I really thought is worth complaining about. I mean, to be fair, I only ever complain about things in Satisfactory because I'm passionate about it, but I very rarely complain about anything in this game because there's very little things to complain about. But for example, if we were to add something that I think was actually terrible, then I will most likely, well, I know I will mention it in a video. But the reason why I haven't done much of that is because I don't think there's much wrong that they've done with this game. Has it been perfect? I think it's been pretty gosh darn good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to update 1.2. I am. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. The audio sounds different. Am I tripping? There's an echo. I don't know, but the audio sounds better. So we got that there, for example. So the light's going to go across there. You're going to be painted black. I see a red door and I want it painted black. Brilliant. Okay, so going back to our lights here. I should be able to angle you pretty perfect. Okay, maybe not. I spoke too soon there. Big okay? How do I get you further down this way? There. No. How do I bring you down? Am I did it over here. So how did I do that? Maybe I just had it in the right location. That's where I want it, right there. Okay, what if I try this? No. Is the answer there. Interesting. There must be a way to get this inside of here. Let me see. If I select this, you're now snapping onto this. I can't bring you down because you go down in that sort of angle. The second thing that I can try and do here is this. The only problem with this, though, is I don't think I can properly overlap it. By that, I mean, for example, this. If I go into one of my pre-saved colors, there we go. That should be fine, I think. Wrong one. I'm so talented, it's actually unreal. If I select the right background, maybe. It gives us the exact same effect, but the problem is, I don't think you can actually overlap properly. I mean, you know what? That actually isn't too bad. Although you are big. Yeah, you're way too... Oh, maybe that's our problem. I've made it too thick. So it should be there? That's way too small. Let's try this again. Here. Like that. But now it's... Oh dear. Let's try this. No, I can't do it that. Too big now. Okay. The second thing that I can try and do, if I get rid of this, it's all about experimenting. Bring you forwards there. There, that's the sort of gap I want. And I get rid of this. We then select this, for example. That's better. Okay. Are you built in the right spot? No. Oh. If I was to move you, would you then be built in the right spot? I know it sounds obvious, but nothing is obvious when I'm the chef in the kitchen, unfortunately. And if I am ever the chef in your kitchen, then I'm... sorry. But now we're back to the original problem. I like this sort of design, though. Accidental design, let's go. Also, you're outside of the... How have I managed that? I should not be able to build that. But hey, I mean, I'll take it. I can't build you, though. But do you see the design that I'm trying to go for? It's like an A. If you've ever played Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West, if you know what a cauldron is from that game, that's what I'm trying to go for here. A cauldron-styled design, basically. If you've never played those games, then, well, that's fine. I mean, you should. They're very good. I won't judge. I won't judge. No, I won't judge. Not publicly, at least. Internally, maybe a little bit, but you know, it's part of the fun. So what if I was to nudge you back a little bit into here? But the thing is, this wall is still going to be covering up my little crime. And if I nudge you down a little bit, as far as I can, there. Now I'll grab this. Now I've got to try and move you. If it's going to properly nudge. There. And I've misclicked. User error, user error. Okay. Then I paint you. Okay. Then, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. No, I don't. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, no, I do. Just not properly. How far can I nudge you out to here? Even though I shouldn't be able to nudge you at all out here, but... No, they've changed the audio in this game. They've changed it. Or my settings have changed something. It sounds so much better now. There's like a little echo. It sounds so good. But they didn't mention that they've changed the... I don't know what I've done. There. Though I might leave a little bit of a larger gap there. I'm going to try and plop you in above. This might look really weird as of right now. Just trust the process. Do I trust the process? Not really, but I mean, you never know. Right, then you are going to go here. That seems about right. Then I'm going to change you to this. We have got a couple gaps here and there. That's fine. Ooh, actually, is it fine? It should have been fine. Okay, well I can zone you into there. How do I get you in? Because you're being a bit of a nuisance. I know how to do it. If I select... No. If I select you... I won't, then I'll just do this. Come back to there, bring it out by that. There we go. So that's this part somewhat done. Now the problem that we might run into here... Actually, is this a problem? I don't actually think it is a problem. No. It's an obstacle. But just because it's an unexpected obstacle doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a problem. Although you're pissing me off there, so I don't really want this here. In the politest way possible, you are not in the right location. Which is really annoying, because I suppose I want you to go up. So you've got to come in by a little bit more, I think. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm placing things down. But this design is off to a good start, I think. I want to try and change you to pink though. Just very, very temporarily, because I want to try and see where the walls are. This grey is matching with that grey and it's a little bit difficult to spot what I'm actually doing. But this makes it a bit easier to try and do. Okay. Then for this particular wall right here, what I'm thinking of doing is... Okay, I've got a design in my mind, but I can't imagine it actually working, if I'm completely honest. What I want to try and do for now is just get rid of this. How far back can I place you? Okay, pretty far. I don't think that's where I had it before, is it? No. Let's move you relatively far back. I'm actually then going to change you to this. In fact, if I am going to do that, I might as well just select the 1 meter wall, which I much prefer over the 4 meter wall. Mostly because there's no pattern on this, it just looks a bit neater. I'm then going to have to try and get some of this in front of that, but now it's the question of how. I think the answer is going to be relatively simple. What I'm going to do is this. Where's the middle spot? The middle is pretty much there. So I come back by a couple. Bring you up to around about there if I can. Do this. Like so. Then add this. Which gives it an interesting sort of pattern there. I have completely forgotten about this game's night cycle, by the way, so I do want to try and get this nipped before the night cycle hits us. I'm also taking a little bit of inspiration from Halo and the sort of architecture that's around Halo, which, by the way, the Halo, it looks really dark on webcam, by the way. I'm sorry, the webcam looks really dark. I do apologize for that. But the Halo aesthetic looks beautiful. Like, some of the buildings in that game are unreal. So I have been thinking to design some sort of like Halo themed world in Satisfactory, if you guys would be interested in that. But I've got to do a lot more research on... Ew. You're built in the wrong spots. A lot more research on the Halo franchise. But it'll be little builds like this, for example, where I'm just incorporating different colors of concrete into each other, creating some like interesting, somewhat brutalist sort of looks. So it's quite similar to what I'm doing here, just not as shite. Not as bad. Okay, so this is fine. Now, very quickly, just a very quick experiment here. Would this look good if I was to do something like... Okay, no. That gives us our answer for that then. I don't mind what it looks like behind here. It's going to change. I don't really think there's much more I can really add into here. I suppose I could go with something like this. But I don't want to add too much, because something that I often do is I add too much and it kind of ruins it. So I'll stick with that for now. I think it looks okay. The next thing that I do want to try and work on is figuring out what I'm going to do with this side. I would love for this light here to come up, but I can't because this wall's already in the way. I could have a second light here. Oh. Yep. Which would then have to be there. Which is quite a big gap, isn't it? Yes. I don't want that gap to be as big. Which is fine. Actually, is it fine? No, I'm gonna have to potentially half nudge this wall over here a little bit. Let's see. There. I think that's the ideal location, because here there's a very small gap, whereas up here there is still a gap. There is still a gap. But now it's saying that I can't actually build out here. Oh no, I still can get away with it. I shouldn't be able to build out here, by the way. I'm really far over the blueprint designer. But hey, if they're gonna let me. Let's get rid of all this here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely. So I've now got to move this a little bit here as well. Which works. Gap-wise, this gap's relatively big, this one's relatively small. Let's half nudge it back. It literally is the tiniest of changes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it's slightly off. And now there's a very small gap there. I mean, this is what we wanted. There's a couple of things that, as I say, do need to be ironed out a little bit. Right, the gap here is bigger than there as well, which doesn't really help. Now it's a lot bigger, obviously. There we go. It's crazy how dark it gets now in the UK at this time. It's starting to get dark around 4-ish, which is ridiculous. It really is just outrageous. I'm going to write a very strongly worded email to the leader of the Earth. Just complaining about the time zone changes, because that's what it is. It's the time zone changes. So now that I've nudged you over here, I'm now wondering if I don't need to do this. Have I just saved myself a lot of work? Or have I created more work for myself? It's probably going to be the latter, let's be honest with ourselves. Oh, there's still a massive gap. Shame. Shame. There must be a way to nudge it in the right direction. Must be. Although, actually, you look fine. I mean, that is... Oh, wow, in the night, by the way. This looks nice. Let's see what this entire thing looks like during the night. I didn't realize that the audio was so loud for the game, by the way. There we go. Yeah, too many lights. That's why this thing that I'm making, it's going to look decent with the lights, but it's not going to be overpowering. So you're going to go up to there. And you're going to go up to here. I think I've got my settings set to ultra for most things. Not everything though, I don't think. I don't need to. If my game looks like this, it's completely fine. Also, regarding the monitor that I'm currently using, it's pretty much the cheapest monitor I could find on Amazon. So I now need to invest in another new monitor just so I can keep up with the new PC. I look blue. Oh, I know why I look blue, because of my... I could try and turn on the lights, but it would make no difference. We're just going to have a blue background now. That's just the way it's going to be. It's the way it is. Okay, so that is pretty much what I wanted to try and do there for that side. But now the question is, how do I make it better? I know exactly what to do. And for that... Oh... Okay. Let's finish doing this, then I'm going to add a layer behind this. You'll see, you'll see, you'll see. At least I hope we'll see. I don't know. Oh, but that now means that you're kind of in the way. I think that's okay. But now it's okay. Come on. There we go. Oh, gosh darn it. So then in that case, how do I do this? Maybe I can do it like that. Yeah, that should be fine. And paint it black. Okay. That works. Kind of. Yep. Okay. I'm still relatively surprised I can build it so far out here. And look at that, that's miles outside of the limits. Which I'm very happy with, by the way. I mean, wish that never got removed as a feature. I don't think it ever was a feature, I think it's a bug, but it's a good bug. Is there now another gap here? Oh, you are taking the mickey out of my breakfast cereal. There is just so many little gaps appearing everywhere. There we go. You're fine. I think you're fine now. I definitely can't build a light out here, but I can just add that later. That's completely fine. Anything major that I want to try and do on the left side? I don't think so. I like this sort of fire effect, by the way. Completely accidental, but you know what? It looks decent. What we're trying to do, it looks completely fine. Now let's just try and copy this over here, which is where things are going to start to get potentially quite painful. But I don't know exactly what I've actually done. I know I'm the conductor of the experiments, but I don't know. That looks right. Good start, everybody. Good start. I've placed down one thing. It's right. And we're flying. We are absolutely flying across. I might even be done before next week. Preferably, I'm not even here next week, so let's see. No, this gap seems a lot bigger. That's it. It is. How are you? How? There. That seems better. So where do you go? You go through that angle. You go through that angle. Are you lined up correctly? I think you are. How is that possible? Let's see. Like, the thing is that I'm currently trying to figure out here is this actually going to be okay? Let's see. You should be there. Yeah, there's no transition there to the back wall. Here you can very clearly see the back wall. So this has got to move. Now it's where does it move to? Oh, there. That's the exact same place. You can just... Okay, no, it's much bigger that side. That seems a lot better. If we double check the line here as well, that's not lined up, that's fantastic. Which is the very first time I've been happy about something not lining up, by the way. Normally if something doesn't line up, I cry a little bit on the inside. No, this time it's actually a good thing. Brilliant, okay. So rotate you around there as well and just build you out. Is that better? I still feel like this side's bigger. No, it's about the same. I'm pretty sure that is about the same. Then you're gonna go there, there. Yeah, this light would have looked so much nicer if it just went straight up there. But I don't think there's much we can do about that. Unless I was to move this over by a little bit. How far is a little bit, though? that's a whole different thing, isn't it? Should we try here? Right. So I know where you've got to go. I just don't know how to get you there. Sounds like I'm the worst taxi driver in the world. No, so you can't go in front of that light. So this is the furthest you can come out. Which is still fine. And change you to be black. Ooh, it's sunrise. We stayed up the whole night working on this project. Then nudge you forward by half. How is this going to look? You're gonna have to move a little bit as well, I think. There. Which means that these lights are now slightly off, which is fine. Like, that's a very minor thing. A slightly smaller door. It's completely fine. The door isn't my concern. It's the actual look that I care more about as of right now. Okay, so these lights are going to have to move as well. Which is kind of annoying because it means that all of this has to move. Which means all of you have to move. I'll do that in just a minute, though. Let's just make sure that this design is something I'm actually happy with, first of all. I don't like how it's nudged across like this, although I don't really see any other way. Because now there's a small gap. Is there another way? Is there a piece I can try and add here? Not particularly. From what I can see. double check. I definitely am happy with this idea, right? Nice. But now I'll leave that there. Okay. I mean, it joins together now. Not fully yet, but it will do. Not fully yet. There we go. I think I almost preferred it the way it was before. Obviously, you can't go here, unfortunately. Well, I mean, you could. If I really wanted you to. In fact, you definitely could. All I have to do is this. That's where you were before. Nudge you to there. And bring you out to here. Then bring you out to here. And that will solve... Wait, no, it won't solve that problem, though. Because you'll still be there. How can I do... okay, there might be a way. What if I do this? No. Maybe there isn't a way to actually do this. Regardless, I do want you to stick out though, so I still want this here. Same thing here with you. Nope. Now, can you fit into here? Okay, yeah, you fit perfectly fine. So this doorway is not going to be a problem to us, I don't think. No matter what I do, there will be a problem. I will run into a problem, so I can't get out of problems. It's just about which problems are easier to solve and which ones will produce a better outcome for us. All about solving them. If I was to place you down there, that will solve this problem. Then it creates this new one. What's the outcome here? I can add a wall there. Potentially. Then there. Go. So in theory, that's what the top's going to look like for now. Which isn't really what I want it to look like. So, what time is it? What's it now? Oh, see, I can't actually build this one there. Damn. Then I think you're also going to go... That won't be aligned, though. Because right now, this is lined up properly. But that's the exact middle. Which means that you should actually be a bit further back. According to this. According to me, somehow. Right. This design here is still fine, although it might have to move over a little bit. And just not go as high. Like this. You're going to be over... No. Are you still purple? Because you should be black now. There. I don't want to change this, actually. There. Now it changes that. So I can't have the wall here, basically. Okay. Bit of a setback there. Not the first one of the day, so let's make it work. I prefer it without this, though. That's the problem that I'm currently at. I prefer, yeah, this looks better to me. Yep, okay. And regarding you lot, I can't go any higher because then it builds out there. Although, to be fair, I don't think that massively matters, so I'm going to build out there anyway. Regarding this, is there a way I could still build you here and still do this, but I want to try and hide it instead? No, I literally will have to build you out there. That's the only way I can hide it. Is it going to be worth it? Potentially still yes. Where does it actually start? It starts there. And where does it end? End somewhere up there. Now what if I try and do this? Change you to white. Then that just looks a bit weird. Actually, I don't mind this. For now. My opinion's probably gonna change in 3 seconds, but in this second at least, I don't mind that. That's fine there. You can then continue going into here. Although I think they came to the conclusion that you were slightly out of place. In fact, I can literally see you're out of place here. That makes no sense. Because this is the middle point. Yeah, okay, so this isn't in the middle. That's annoying. Because if I was to build you, you'd then be here. Which again, isn't the middle. Although, this seems like it could be a fairly simple change. All I've got to do is just reposition this. Okay, you're coming out of that side, which I don't really want you to do. It's better. You're okay, so no matter what I do, it will be sticking out somewhere. Okay. bring you up by 1. Let's see the damage. Obviously, we can't have this. Obviously, like, there's some things I don't mind, but I cannot be having this. There. Can I change the colour yet? No, we still can't change the colour of these things. Oh well. Perfect. I mean, it will cover it up. I feel like some sort of like Soviet spy trying to cover up some like random thing. Like whatever works as long as it's covered up, then it's completely fine. Except rather than reputation, I'm fighting for my sanity. Which might be a battle I'm losing. No, it's fine. There we go. You're now lined up properly. Congratulations. Well done. Wow. What a significant achievement. What have I done? In fact, I don't know what I've done, but it's worked out. There you go. To be fair, that one sentence sums up 95% of my gameplay. Get this thing back here. So that's that. I can actually place this down here again. Nice. I feel like this is coming together. Is it slow? Yeah. Even I can feel it. That's built in the wrong spot. But I don't really want to rush this though. I really hate rushing things. Especially when there's no need to. If I was in a race, then yeah, sure, but I'm not, so it's okay. But again, thank you by the way to everyone that is watching. If you guys are enjoying the stream, then feel free to drop a like. You don't have to, it just supports the channel a little bit. All support is greatly appreciated. So do you go over this? I think you're one further in. There looks pretty good. Something like this. Where has it gone? There. You do seem like you are a bit far. Although that's actually fine because I think the only thing... Wait, no. You are definitely too far. Are you exactly... Yeah, you are exactly that. Should literally just about come out there. But so far, I can see everything here is exact because you're just sticking out there. You're just sticking out there as well. So this part is exactly right. Now I think you're just a bit too far somehow, even though you shouldn't be. That's what I'm confused about. I don't see how you're just too far out. I do. No, I do. this is the correct measurement for the wrong wall, which is a bit of a problem. There. That's better. Nice. Okay, so let me just try and get this back into the same location. I can. Lovely. Then adding that over there. This should be a lot better now. I would be lying if I said it's obvious that it looks a lot better, but apparently it is. Oh, okay. And you should be sticking out by 2 on the edge of that. On the edge of that. Yeah. Oh, okay, wait. That has a very slight impact on this. Is there anything I can do about that? I'm gonna build that up by 8, which is quite annoying. I don't need any of this. Then when it comes to you, I should be able just to still add you into here. I can't imagine you have anything to do with that. No, okay, great. Right, so now comes the difficult process of somehow trying to line you up without getting you confused, which you look pretty good. Our dimensional depot is working overtime for this, but you know what? That's what I've built it for. That's literally the whole point of it. Although, why is it stopping at 932 plates? Sort of a weird number. I've probably got some in my inventory. You're not going to the right, to the same place. How? See, this is going much further up than this one. Let's see. Are you going to meet in the same place? Where's the middle? The middle is pretty much here. No, I think they're actually fine. Okay, that's good. That would have been a concern. But that's pretty much this first wall done. I don't think there's many more changes I want to try and do here. I don't think I can add you to this, can I? Without it looking crap. So I'll leave that the way it is. Can I try and add you to here? That's just going to look quite weird on top of here, though, won't it? So what can I do for there? Not much, I don't think. How about with you? Because you go up to around about there. I'll do a bit further in. Did you perfectly line up? I mean, you do, so that's nice. I don't think I can get rid of these, can I? What was the reason for that? Don't know, it's gone now though. whatever it is, if it's important, we'll figure it out. It's not going to the same place. This is going to the middle of this, whereas this is going to the top part. It's really weird. I also really hate that. I'm gonna save this for now. We'll call it A frame 001. Color wise, I don't know. Sure. We'll then save that color as A frame. Brilliant. Color presets A frame saved. There you go. English. Should I just place a Christmas tree? No. It's too early. I know some people have already started putting up their Christmas decorations. They're selling Christmas stuff from the shops. It's too early. It's too early. Stop it. No, it's not. No. What do I even put here? Like, there's so many items I could choose from. None of which I'm using, by the way. I've got a video coming out talking about these. The ramps. I know it's a very exciting video, but no, it's actually quite important. Like this as well, for example. Let's use this. I've never used this before. And basically, this is like, well, it's a door, in case you guys have never seen a door before. But it's gonna have a purpose. I just don't quite know what just yet. Obviously, it's not done, but I feel like it has the potential. In fact, here's one thing that I do want to try and do, if I can. Where is it? This. Okay, then. Do I have to place down this first? But no, it's an 8-meter thing, so I can't place that down there. Where do you go up to? You go up to here. I am just experimenting now, but like I continuously say, and I will continuously say, experimenting in this game is the best thing you can do. No, see, that's where I needed it to go. But essentially, that's going to go there. This wall will then come out to here. And then I'm going to have some sort of shape behind here. I've made this almost 6 foundations wide in the end. This will then just continue to go up. I can make this go as high as I want, but I don't really want it to go that high. How's this? Fine. And then add some sort of wall there as well. Are you even built in the right spot? I think you are. Or the other wall isn't. Then yeah, you'll go up to around about there. You can then come back in here a little bit. Can I? Yeah, okay, I can. Lovely. I don't actually know what I'm doing as of right now. No, I do know what I'm doing. I'm trying to make it look nice. Interrupted myself there during my own sentiments. But you guys get the gist. This is what it's gonna kind of end up looking like. So you've got the doorway down over here as well. You can already start to see like the layers somewhat, at least. This will most likely all, no, this will all change. Be much darker. You remain the same. You will then change as well. There we go. This will then continue. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of it, it has to continue because of the way that we built this thing. Now, what additional layers am I then going to add to this? I think the easiest one to do could be 1, 2, 3, 4. Except I can't do that one. Why? I'm guessing because it's clipping outside the playable area, which kind of sucks. Makes complete logical sense, but yeah. Oh, wait, I can do it there, but I can't do it here. Really? Right. That's kind of annoying. Like, there's one location where I can do it in. And bring it up by 1. And that right there will be some sort of, again, wall, pathway, wall, wallable pathway, I don't know. So many possibilities. Then you will then go up by about, let's see, again, just experimenting here. Around about 6. Then come over there. And here. Now what's the problem, for crying out loud? Okay, I can do it here. There we go. So now I can try this. Again, I don't actually know what I'm building here. The bottom bit was fine. I'm just trying to think how can I actually incorporate this into something a bit bigger. But if I get rid of that, I'm just left with what I normally build. Which looks fine, but the whole point of this is to not build that. I think this will have to go here as well, won't it? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down. And that's where that wall's going to come up to. Which means that I think you are going to have to come up by 1. There. Which has no impact on this. I'm actually unsure if you're going to have an impact. If you're the same color, I don't think you will, no. So, I mean, that does solve our problem down there. I don't know. I think we'll try and pick this up again tomorrow. I need to try and figure out what actually I'm going to try and do with this, because originally it was supposed to be our entrance. It still can be an entrance, just not if it looks like this. Yeah, we have to wait and see on that one. Regardless, thank you very much to everyone that tuned in for today's live stream. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, I am still working on some things here to do with my streaming software, but hopefully everything should be fine. Little things like the chat underneath there, or the gameplay screen. If you guys like this, is there too much on the screen, like underneath where my webcam is, for example, and even like the stream starting soon screen. Too many S's there in that sentence. But if you guys want me to like improve or change anything, do let me know. Regardless, thank you very much for watching. I have got a video coming out in a couple of hours from now, so I hope that you guys want to stay tuned for that. It's a very short video. And yeah, have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you guys all again tomorrow. I'm going to go back inside now and spend some time with my family. And maybe even relax this evening. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day. And Godspeed.